1 in 2 women wear the wrong foundation. Are you? Time to upgrade. Il Makiage is the boldest new brand in beauty. With 20,000 5-star reviews, their Woke Up Like This foundation is a bestseller for a reason. Available in 50 shades of flawless natural coverage, all cruelty-free. And with Try Before You Buy, it's risk-free. Take the Power Match quiz to find your perfect shade and try it free for 14 days. Go to ilmakiage.com/quiz. That's ILMAKIAGE.com/quiz.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
This week's episode of Do Go On is brought to you by the fact that we are coming to Sydney.
Oh, cool.
This Saturday night, the 21st of September, we are going to be at the Giant Dwarf Theatre in Redfern from 7:30 p.m. If you haven't already got your tickets, what are you bloody doing?
The Giant Dwarf.
Head over to dogoonpod.com. You can find all the tickets there. We hope to see you. And also, stay tuned because we have some very exciting tour news.
What? Can't wait to hear this.
That's coming up right after this theme music.
Hello and welcome to another episode of Do Go On. My name is Dave Warnicky. I'm sitting here with the greats, the wonderfuls, the one and onlys, Jess Perkinses and Matt Stewart's.
Shotgun the Wonderful.
Shotgun, the other one.
Yeah.
Great,
The greats.
one and only, the greats.
Give me the greats. I'm the Wonderfuls and you're the one and only.
Thank you so much.
You're welcome. Hello, everybody. Hello, Matt.
Hello, Jess.
Hello, Dave.
Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for joining us. If this is the first time listening to the show, we're about to announce some exciting news.
Oh, what is it?
Let me just... Some tour news, I believe, was what Jess said at the start of the episode.
What?
Let me reveal it. Over the last couple of months, I have been secretly organising a tour of Ireland.
Woo!
And whilst we're there, the UK.
Whoa, cool.
I don't know if you can call it a tour of Ireland.
Where are we going? Are we going to Cork?
No, do not.
We're going to Killarney?
Let's not.
We're going to Belfast?
Killarney, that's where my family's from. Can we
Oh,
go
we're
to
going
Killarney?
there?
Well, maybe us three can, because we'll be going a couple of days early to acclimatise to the time difference.
Yes.
But I'm here to announce that we are heading back to the UK and also, for the first ever time, a show in Dublin for a bit of a Christmas tour. The first couple of weeks of December we will
so
be
I
there.
think you mean Christmas.
Sorry, a Christmas tour.
Yes.
Oh, good. I love... Oh, we're going to have a winter Christmas.
Yeah, a proper Christmas again. We were all there this time last year, well, a little bit earlier, and we're all thinking, this is, even though we haven't been here for Christmas before, this feels like what Christmas should feel like.
Yes, that is.
Was it Birmingham? We had that. There was a Christmas, like a German Christmas fair.
Yes.
That was so cool.
The Christmas market, yeah.
Oh, will that be
Love
on
that.
again?
Of course, and probably even more full swing because it's even closer to Christmas.
Yes! I'm
And
going to get
we
another
going to
pretzel.
Birmingham?
Well,
Sorry, we jumped ahead.
if you're wondering where we are heading, we are going to Dublin.
Yes.
Brand new place.
Oh,
Brand
we
new
got to
country.
watch your Irish tap dancing.
I've just looked it up. It actually is finishing up this week.
Oh, does it? I would have assumed it would be.
No, it's not on all the time.
That is December the 1st, the
It's not
first show.
fucking Billy Elliot. It's always fucking on.
What is it? Cats?
A 2, 3, 4. Meow, meow, meow.
Oh, the one thing worse than Riverdance, cats. Sorry. So if you love musicals, I'm so happy for you. Okay, so the shows Dublin, December the 1st at the Sugar Club.
Oh,
We'll be there.
a little bit of sugar.
Fantastic. Then we're heading over to Glasgow.
Yes.
Oh, we didn't get there last time.
No, we did
Oh, we
Edinburgh.
had a little day trip, which was fun.
Edinburgh last time, Glasgow, December the 2nd at the Glee Club. Then the next night, we were busy first half of the tour. We're heading to Leeds. We're back at the Wardrobe. Fantastic
that
venue.
place was great fun.
December the 3rd.
Yes.
Then we've got a night off. Then we're heading to Bristol, back at the Hen and Chicken, another cool venue, December the 5th.
We promise we will not do one about murderers this time.
Yeah, it'll be a fun topic
okay,
this time.
now I remember that venue. I was just thinking, I don't think I remember that one.
Let's do
yep.
let's do a real fun,
Yes.
happy one.
Yeah.
Then we are back in London town, December the 8th at 229 The Venue, where last time we had a great time. It was our final show of the tour.
Oh,
last
that
time.
was awesome.
That's huge.
Had a-
That was amazing.
Had a piano backstage, baby.
That's what I love.
And then finally, our final show is back in Birmingham, near the Christmas market, December the 9th at the Birmingham Glee Club.
Oh, sweet as.
Good way to finish the tour. And now, so tickets are going on sale to our Patreon supporters this Friday at 11 a.m. local UK and Ireland time. So basically, anyone who supports us on Patreon will put the links up first, a little code for the pre-sale. So if you want to get in and make sure you get a ticket, because last year we announced the tour, and then surprisingly, the whole thing sold out in 4 hours. It was a bit of a surprise for everyone. A few people missed
Mostly
out. So
us.
sorry about mostly.
We
us.
were pretty shocked
So if you want
by
to get, I'm sure that won't happen again. Some of the venues are a bit bigger, but just in case, if you want to get guarantee a ticket. Support us on Patreon. You also get bonus episodes, and you can be our Facebook group, vote for topics, all that kind of stuff. And then, but if you are not a Patreon supporter, general tickets will go on sale on Monday at 11 a.m. local UK time. That is Monday, September the 23rd.
Oh.
Cool.
Exciting times.
So exciting. I
That's
can't
great.
wait.
Hey, and I should say I'm still working on the North American tour. It has proved so difficult. We basically need a promoter to sponsor us, and we have not been able to secure that.
Yeah.
And I've been talking to the Patreons. The idea at the moment, and this seems like it's going to go ahead, but I can't announce dates yet, but hopefully this will happen soon. We're going to do a Canadian tour, which obviously isn't perfect for all our American listeners. Hopefully exciting for our Canadian listeners.
That's right. And they are much more welcoming with visas for performers.
Yes, that's right.
That's
Yeah.
why we're doing it, basically.
That's right. And yeah, hopefully some American or US people will be able to come up, and others, we're going to keep working on it, and hopefully this will open doors. We can show people, we had a successful Canadian tour, and that'll help us get a promoter on board for not too far down the track. So pumped. I've never been to Canada.
No, me either.
So
I'm excited.
Hopefully can announce dates and stuff for that in the coming, I don't know, hopefully in the next month, I think. Maybe even in block. Hey, quick question. What are you doing for block?
I was going to go away for the month. Is that not a good idea?
No, you've got to be here.
Oh, right.
This Blocktober Buster month, aka Blocktober Grace Land Festival.
Doing a great job of explaining it to people that don't know what it is.
It's the biggest month on the Do Go On calendar. We did the first one last year. All of October we do the biggest topics, and there's going to be a vote going up this week, which will help us decide all the topics for the whole month, including one which is going to be with a very special guest.
Ooh.
Have you looked at this? Have you looked at the fact that there are 5 Wednesdays in that October?
Yeah, big time.
Good. I was going to say, whoops, if you haven't.
Oh, God.
I feel like there were last year as well,
Yeah, I
maybe.
think so
But
too.
that's, so...
Am I the special... Are you still calling me a guest?
yes,
You're
very special guest.
201 appearances so far. Guest appearances.
So, well, I imagine if you've come on board lately, you might be like, what the hell are you talking about? But if you go back to last October's episodes, they were huge topics.
Yeah.
And everyone, like the word on the street, I was walking down, Brunswick, Sydney Road.
Yep.
And I'd hear people chitter-chattering sensibly. What are you up to for block this year? Are you blocking?
You going away for block?
Yeah,
or
what are you doing for block?
You got time off for block?
Do you want to come around to mine for block?
Come over for block.
Yeah. And
Bring a block.
There's a real block buzz.
Bring a block.
Bring a
Have
block.
chocolate.
Thank you.
And a block of beers.
Yeah, block of beers, block of chocolate, block of cheese.
Block of Lego.
Yes.
Entertainment.
Now I want some cheese.
Oh, yeah, big time.
In summary, any shows we ever do, you can go to dogoonpod.com to get tickets for that, including the Ireland UK tour, Dublin, Glasgow, Leeds, Bristol, London, Birmingham. We cannot wait to be
So
there.
excited.
I'm so excited to
December.
show you around Dublin.
Oh, yes.
I'm excited for that. Even though we've got Patreon and lovely, lovely man who we met last time we went to the UK, Tiernan, who is a tour guide
That's right.
based
so
in
well.
Dublin. He was like, hey, if you want any day tours or anything, let me know. And I'm like, no need, Tiernan. I got this.
I spent a week there in 2006, so I think I probably
How
could tell you
many
a thing or two.
pubs did you go to? Were you just on Temple Bar the whole time?
Yeah, I also went to Croke Park to watch Australia play Ireland in the international rules.
Oh, fuck, that would have been awesome in Ireland.
Will that,
Yeah,
be on
so good.
will that be happening in
Sick.
December? That would be real cool.
I love the international rules.
It
think so.
normally happens around October, and I don't know if it even happens anymore.
No.
That year actually put a real damper on it because the Australians went in very violently, and it was kind of weird. The Australians are professional sports people, and the Irish competition as amateurs. So I was like,
It's already a bloodbath.
It was kind of weird.
It's supposed to be just a friendly game.
But yeah, that was pretty cool.
Anyway, so Dave, I can't wait to show you around.
Thank you. I'm really looking forward to it.
I have very little memories of it, so I will need a
You
tour
also
guide
rarely
as well.
leave your room until the afternoon. So Dave and I will probably go and do some sightseeing.
a lovely wander. We will.
Dave and I will have a lovely wander. Go have some
I
scones
wanna have
the
a
proper way.
wander.
Well, come out of your room then.
I will.
Wake up.
Yeah,
Wake
wake
up.
up.
I will. I'll wake up. I'll
Put
wake
some
up right
clothes
now.
on. Put some bloody clothes on.
Oh, well, one thing at a time. You want me to wake or do you want me clothed?
Matt
I can do
teases
one.
me for having the red zone, which is before coffee. But you,
I tease you for that. You tease
I brought it
yourself
up
for
and
that.
then you used it a lot. And then, but like, let's look at Matt before breakfast, shall we?
Oh my goodness. The
Mine's
red...
more the
Nightmare.
dead zone.
Yeah. He's
Yeah.
a little zombie.
Yeah, yours is the red zone. You're walking around with your pubes all everywhere.
And Dave, from 6 a.m., like any time of the day or night, Dave's always like, hey, how's it going? Woo! Like Dave doesn't have levels.
I never change.
He's always thinking about the next thing, always moving around.
Yeah.
His neck is just swiveling.
You can't see, he's never sits.
Swiveling neck.
He's a ferret.
Anyway, that's what we have to look forward to behind the scenes.
Do ferrets have swiveling necks?
They do now.
Yeah, damn right.
Thinking meerkats.
Dave, explain what this show is.
Oh, great.
This show is a lot of fun for the whole family.
No.
Turn off mum. And basically, we take it in turns here to report on a topic often suggested by a listener, and the two people that aren't reporting have no idea what's going to be talked about. And today, Jess, you are the one in charge of the report.
That's right.
So Matt and I don't know what you're about to say, and to get us on the topic, you ask a beautiful question.
Yes.
Which you... I didn't want to say never, but often forget to write.
I wrote one.
Fantastic.
And would I be right in saying that this was as voted on by the Patreon?
That is correct.
Ooh.
So I put a few different topics up to them. This one, so there was 3 topics. This one won with a margin of 50%.
Wow. So that's a landslide.
Yeah.
Yeah, because often it is very
Can be
close
tight,
in the hat there.
And so my question is, which US sporting event is held every year on Patriots Day?
Oh, I'm going to say Super Bowl.
No.
NHL hockey playoff?
No.
Yeah, the Stanley Cup.
Yeah,
right?
that's what I was thinking.
That is
yeah.
in the hat. I've seen that
big,
there.
ugly cup. No offense.
Is it a mainstream one?
It's pretty mainstream. Think more of like an, it's not really a team sport.
America's Cup?
Golf.
No.
Ryder Cup.
No.
That's a team sport.
Is it? Oh, yeah, that's the one golf team sport. Sorry about that.
Is it international or...
No.
Okay, so it's an
US thing?
individual. Oh, US Open? No, that's no.
What's the date of Patriots Day? What month are we looking at?
It happens on the 3rd Monday of April.
Okay, April. What is that? That means it's
Early-
spring. It's a spring sport.
Something you might go out and do.
The Boston Marathon.
Yeah.
Whoa!
Well done.
I got that from your shoulders moving like someone slowly running.
Yeah, exactly. You've seen me run. This is how I do it. It's all on the shoulders.
Yeah, you do not move your legs, and it's very
Yeah.
hard to watch.
I'm very slow.
Marathon. Is
Yeah.
this about the event or about the bombing?
It's not about the bombing.
Okay.
It is about one particular event, or one particular thing that happened in the long history of the Boston Marathon.
Right.
And to start things off, I am going to talk just a little bit more generally about the marathon, highlight a couple of things that have happened, and then I'm going to get stuck into the juicy story that I have.
Right. So I have no idea what this story is going to be. Do you, Matt?
No, but I can't wait till Jess squeezes the juice.
We're all feeling a little bit more relaxed now. It's not about the bombing.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
yeah.
tell you.
Yeah, that's hard to make fun, you know?
But we did that last week about an explosion, so
That was 102 years ago.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a bit different.
And an accident.
okay.
This has only been suggested by one person in Jack the Hat McVitie. It was suggested by Brianna Napoli, who I think is from Brisbane, from memory.
We've definitely said her
Mamma
name
mia.
before.
Brianna Napoli.
Thank you, Brown
Thanks,
Napoli.
Bri.
And anyone can suggest a topic. We should say this by going to dogoonpod.com. And we love it when people do that.
Yeah, Brianna, you are one of my favourite pasta sauces.
Napoli, so simple,
Yeah,
so effective.
yeah.
Little bit of backstory about the Boston Marathon for starters. This is mostly because the story I'm going to tell is relatively short. So I'm going to fill a little bit
Great, let's
with
pad.
some context. No, but there's other interesting stuff. So the Boston Marathon, it's the world's oldest annual marathon. Began in 1897.
Wow, that's the year the AFL began. Or the VFL.
That's the prism that you look through life.
Yeah.
Before you did the report, which is your first ever report on this show, how did you look at the world? Did you have any context or anything? Or did that report change your life?
No, I already knew that because there was the centenary season.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, in 1996. So,
Wow.
which I think was wrong. They
Yeah,
had it in 96, but they mucked it up.
That's not quite right.
I think it's like the 100th season, but it wasn't 100 years.
Right.
Anyway,
Well.
that's an early sidetrack.
So the Boston Marathon ranks as one of the world's best-known road racing events. It's massive. And as I said, it's always held on Patriots' Day, which is the third Monday of April. Amateurs and professional runners from all over the world compete in the Boston Marathon each year, braving the hilly Massachusetts terrain and varying weather to take part in the race.
Massachusetts.
Yeah, because you said it's springtime, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
summer. It's our autumn, so it's their spring.
Yeah.
So it can be really nice, or it can be like a bit chilly still. So it varies year to year. That's what keeps it interesting. I want to give a little bit of backstory in the marathon history to give us some context and to touch on a few stories that could definitely make for mini episodes, but that are really worth mentioning because they're pretty impressive. So in its long history, the Boston Marathon has had many notable stories emerge from the race. There was Bobby Gibbs, the first woman to finish the race in 1966.
Saints won the premiership that year.
You don't say. Before this, the longest Amateur Athletic Union sanctioned race for women was 1.5 miles.
No. 1.5 miles.
Women were allowed to run 1.5 miles.
But if they ran any more, would they die?
Well, yes. Look
Could
at their
only
tiny,
assume.
frail bodies.
We don't want to risk it. I mean, we tried to practice on mice and they can't run more than 1.5 miles. So.
And women are mice.
Yeah, basically.
So
They have a similar physique.
What is the marathon in miles? I know it's 42.195 kilometres.
26 point something.
Right, so that's
miles.
that's a big jump.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a huge jump. And prior to the race, Bobby received a letter from the race director, a guy called Will Cloney, informing her that women were not physiologically capable of running marathon distances. So that motivated her even more.
So what year is this?
66.
1566.
It's not long enough ago.
What the hell?
Yeah.
They checked the size of women's craniums and they proved to be insufficiently sized
What is
for running.
cranium, sir?
Did he write the letter in really large font?
Yeah. And then a little note saying, get your husband to read this to you.
Telling us that she
He's just
basically
going-
would die if
He's
she
going,
tried.
honey, I know you'd like to give it a go, but it's biology. You're too little. You're too little to do it.
I don't make the rules. I'm not God.
Hey, have a go at 1.5 miles.
1.5
okay? You'll be very tired.
Even I can run 1.5 miles.
And you're useless.
Exactly. I wouldn't be surprised if he sent me a letter saying that
You are not physiologically capable.
You did it in Thailand, didn't you?
I nearly died. How far was that? 5K?
That's 5Ks. That was
5K. On a
so
beach
humid.
in 30-degree weather in humidity, and I've never run any distance in my life. Felt like I was going to vomit at the end. Luckily, collapsed into the ocean.
Yeah.
That really saved the day. Otherwise, big vom was coming.
Yeah.
I felt sick as well. That was wild.
I had a really nice walk on the beach.
That was
was
smart.
great.
No,
Yeah.
And I
It was a-
still won.
Because it was a beautiful. Yeah, you were first female podcaster
Yeah,
across the line. Is
number
that right?
one.
And who came second in that category?
No one. There was no one else.
Everyone else failed.
Daylight, Dave.
Yep.
Daylight second.
Other female podcasters went physiologically able.
Yeah,
to
but
finish
I
the race.
proved them wrong. So yeah, her being told that she was too small and incapable motivated her to do it. And she'd been training for the previous 2 years and could run distances of up to 40 miles, which is way more than a marathon. So she was like, I reckon I probably can actually, physiologically that is. So she made the journey to Boston for the race. And what she did...
She ran there. She ran from California.
She hid in the bushes close to the start line.
What?
And she joined the race as the men started to pass her. She was wearing her brother's shorts and like a baggy sweatshirt and just had like a tank top underneath.
She also changed her name to Bobby.
Also, I don't want to be rude here, but at what point did she start the race?
Oh.
She joined the men once they'd started.
Pretty close to the start.
So imagine she ran the whole thing except the first 100 metres, and the boss is like, the guy that runs it,
Told
see,
you.
told you,
couldn't do it,
told you,
couldn't do it,
told
couldn't finish
you.
it.
Stick to 1.5.
But she's dressed like basically trying to look like a man.
She's trying to blend in, yeah. I think she had like a baseball cap on as well. She was trying to be like
Her
inconspicuous.
shirt says, I love being a man.
She was also trying to get away from a sniper
Yeah.
in an action film.
Yeah, putting on a hat. Oh, completely different.
Yeah. Jason Bourne puts a hat on. Where'd he go?
There was Patriots Day was the name of a film, wasn't it? Maybe a Harrison Ford film?
No. Mel Gibson,
Oh, Mel Gibson.
Heath Ledger.
Oh, okay. I'm thinking of Patriot Games.
Patriot Games, that's right.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Yeah, Patriot
Wait.
Day is an old-timey film with Heath
Is it
Heath
just
Ledger.
called The Patriots?
The Patriot.
Oh.
The Patriots game.
Jeez,
No, it's called The Patriot. Isn't it?
That's
yeah,
Heath
maybe
Ledger.
so maybe there is no Patriot Day film. No, Patriot Day, is that maybe a
my
football
God.
film?
No, maybe that's the one about the Boston Marathon.
Oh, that makes sense.
I think
They got
that
a lot
might
of-
be the case.
they got a
You
lot
look
of-
it up. I'll keep going with the report.
Jeez, they've got a few movies about being patriot.
Because they made a film.
It's almost like they built their whole country's ideology around being patriot.
And not letting in Australians.
Let us perform there.
Yeah, they made a film about the Boston Marathon. I remember being like, oh, that's soon. You know, it was like only within a couple of years, I want to say. I could be wrong.
Right.
Anyway, so Bobby Gibbs. So she's joined the race. She's running along. She's trying to be inconspicuous. And the men in the race start to notice that she's a woman. And very surprisingly for the time, were incredibly supportive. Apparently they were like really friendly. They were like, yeah, good for you. Let's go.
But, okay, why were you expecting them? Boo.
Expecting to be like, you can't be here, toots. I don't know.
Yeah, well, no, that's great. So the people are like, yeah, good on you.
They're like, cool. And then yeah, Matt?
Patriots Day is a 2016 film with Marky Mark about the Boston Marathon bombings.
So it's 3 years later after. It feels too soon, but
Yeah,
maybe
right.
not. I don't know.
So I think it's celebrating the heroes and stuff.
Yeah, which is amazing. Anyway, so then the crowd start to notice that Bobby is a woman, and they're going fucking mental. The crowd are going wild. They're so excited that a woman is racing. Apparently she ended up because it was hot, she took off her sweatshirt and was running along, and people are just going nuts. She finished in 3 hours, 21 minutes and 40 seconds, ahead of 2/3 of the runners.
Awesome.
So she smashed it.
Had a 100-meter head start.
That's true. So
That's the hardest bit.
up. Some of the news reporting for the time is pretty gross, though. It refers to her as a tidy-looking and pretty 23-year-old blonde.
It's such what a funny
elite
time.
elite athlete.
Because it's the 60s is it's a big change in the world, right?
Yeah.
So it's funny that the old school journalists are still talking like that, but then people on the street are going, "Yes, we've been waiting for this."
Yeah. Another headline said, and I don't know what this means, but it said Hub Bride first gal to run marathon.
Oh.
Was they speaking a different language back then?
Anyway.
Just sounds like the kid on the street corner. Hub Bride.
Hub Bride, step right up.
So did the director ever address this and apologise?
Nah. Anyway, she ran the... I don't think so, no.
Typically.
Well, she ran the following year as well, but she was unnumbered. So she was unregistered. She was just running it because women still weren't allowed to technically run, even though she'd proven they can definitely do it. But the following year was famous for another reason as well. A runner called Catherine Switzer was told by her running coach that a marathon was too far to run for a fragile woman. Which begs the question,
I was
why
thinking
was he
that too.
coaching her?
Oh, he was her coach.
He
Well,
was her running coach.
I'll do my best with what I've got, but if you don't fall apart, we'll see.
Yeah. I mean, bloody... Oh.
You can. I'm willing to risk your life. Have a crack.
Yeah, go on.
For
Try and
science.
run 2 miles. See if you can make it past the bloody 1.5. Damn it! So she...
Dead woman walking.
He just goes and reads the paper while she runs. So Catherine, or Kathy, she registered for the Boston Marathon under the gender-neutral KV Switzer, just her initials. Her finishing time of approximately 4 hours and 20 minutes was nearly an hour behind Bobby Gibb, who was running again. But the reason that Kathy was so notable was that during the race official Jock Semple tried to rip off her number and stop her from running, tried to get her off the course. Jock Semple. And he's in a blazer and stuff, and a bald old man trying to push
Let's
her off the
not
course.
bring age into this.
No, it just
Jess.
looks funny that he's sort of
Oh, there's footage of it.
he's running. There's photos of it, really famous photos, where he's sort of run out into the course,
I
trying
love-
to stop an elite athlete for
The
running.
Maybe some of the most confusing people to me in the world are those people who have a small amount of power and just can't see past it logically.
Yeah.
No, you're not allowed to be doing that. Stop it.
Apparently he was yelling, "Get the hell out of my race and give me those numbers." He was trying to stop her.
So weird.
But unluckily for Jock, Kathy had been running alongside her boyfriend, Tom Miller, who was an ex-All-American football player and nationally ranked hammer thrower, i.e. a big fucking unit. So he shoved Semple aside, sent him flying into the pavement,
Like a hammer.
clearing a path for Kathy to keep running. So he just pushed him out of the way.
Piss off, idiot.
Yeah,
That's probably what
exactly.
he said.
Exactly. And there's photos. I don't know if there's actual filmed footage. There's definitely famous photos. There's like a triptych where he's sort of like running behind her, trying to grab her, and then you just see Tom just push him, and then in the third photo he's on the ground and she just keeps running. So it was a similar kind of thing. Like she just started running. She had pretty short hair at the time, so she sort of blended in with this crowd, and then eventually people were like, "Oh, hang on, that's a woman. What's going on here?"
It's a different time.
What do you think Jock is worried about if she completes it?
Well, I think it's just, I don't know. People get rules stuck in their head and they can't get past them.
It's such a dumb rule.
I remember one time, this is a very equally a civil rights issue. I used to get a discount card when I worked at a supermarket. And my family got it, so my dad had one. He forgot it one day, and we were going through the checkout at the place I work, and had for quite a few years. And the woman on the register is like, sorry, can't give you a discount. I'm like, but you know who we are. I can tell you the number, just type it, that you have to type in. Sorry, I have to see the card. But I'm wearing the uniform.
And did you know?
Yeah, it's like that weird kind of level
so
of power.
dumb.
It's me, Matt.
Yeah.
We just did a shift together.
Yeah.
I'll stand behind you.
I just went and grabbed a chocolate milk and now I'm back here. Can you give me a discount?
Weird, but I think there's some people have it inbuilt into them that you just can't break any rules.
Did you have to give up, or did you bring
I
over?
just had to give up on
It's
it.
like, I want to see your manager, which is also my manager.
But it's just one of those things you just sort of, you go, well, I'm not going to make a huge deal out of it. It's just a bit weird. And I think it's a classic Australian trait is to stick by the rules no matter what, and call people out who are stepping out of line, even if it doesn't make any sense.
Yeah, it's very strange.
I reckon this old fella had a bit of that about him.
Yeah, I reckon. Bit of a power trip.
Get out of my race. Shove. Love that.
Shove. He just pushes him. It's beautiful. And after the race, that director who wrote Kathy Gibbs the letter the year before, Will Cloney.
Love that name too, Kathy Gibbs.
Yeah, it's good. He was asked his opinion of Switzer competing in the race. I said, don't know Kathy Gibbs? Bobby Gibbs. This is Kathy Switzer. Anyway, he was asked his opinion of her running, and he said, women can't run in the marathon because the rules forbid it. Unless we have rules, society will be in chaos. I don't make the rules, but I try to carry them out. We have no space in the marathon for any unauthorised person, even a man. If that girl were my daughter, I'd spank her.
Okay.
So what
He was trying to be like cold and logical for a while.
And then he just
and then
went
he
weird.
finishes with a spanking.
Very weird.
Basically, he said, like, if that man was a woman, he couldn't run.
Yeah.
So,
And that, yeah, but that
I'm
was
just saying, even if that man broke the rules, all right.
exactly. If
What are you
he'd
talking
stopped there, like no space for an authorised person, even a man.
But wasn't one of them had a number?
Yeah, she did. She'd 100% registered and was wearing a number.
Yeah. So that doesn't add up either.
Nope, it does not at all. But then he added that he would spank her, and then it got mega weird.
And the journalist is just like, okay, you want me to print that?
And that's on the record. You're insisting that's on the record.
At the time, the journalist was like, this is great stuff. I'm going to make this the headline.
Spanky, spanky.
Yeah. What was that headline?
Clooney insists on
Hub
spanking.
bride.
Hub bride.
First gal
First
to
gal
run
run.
marathon. Yuck.
No time, finish sentence.
Stop. But even despite these impressive women proving that women were definitely capable of running a lot further than 1.5 miles, it was still another 5 years until women were actually allowed to register and participate.
That feels about right.
That
You don't want to
didn't
rush
happen
into
till
these
the 70s.
things.
No. I mean, they're two anomalies.
Yes.
Most women, they've changed the rules now. Most women can't run more than 1.5 miles.
Yeah.
Apparently now it's like 46% of entrants are women. Like it's pretty balanced now.
It's just strange to think that this is what in the mid-60s and the Olympics has been going with women for like 60 years at that point.
Thinking that as well.
Yeah.
The first modern Olympics was it in
1896.
So I wonder if
And then-
that can't be coincidence, right? A big marathon is held in 1896, then Boston Marathon starts the next year.
Next year, yeah.
Feels like
And
there's
I
maybe
think-
some
When
connection.
were women?
I think the next Olympics, 1900, I think.
Really?
Yeah.
But it's still 66 years
Yeah,
later.
they're like, well, I mean, you can compete at the Olympics and win a gold medal for your country, but you can't.
But it's,
Well, there wouldn't have been a marathon, I'm guessing.
Probably not for
Women.
at the time.
but
in
also,
1900.
it's,
yeah, very strange.
It is because America feels like it's all about equality and everyone, like it's all fair go stuff there. So
Yeah, but I'm sure it wasn't even necessarily a conscious thing. It was just, well, they can't. Their bodies are so much smaller. I mean, you can't expect a kid to do it. Women are kids.
yeah, it is funny. Like you go, well, then why don't you do it based on size?
Yeah. Well, okay, let us do longer than 1.5.
What about a tall woman?
Yeah.
Believe it if I see it.
You mean a freak. It's fucked. It's so wild. It was the 70s before women were allowed to be in it. It's insane. So the marathon obviously has a lot of history, some really great, like these two amazing women. Also in 2016, Jamie Marseilles, an American, became the first female double amputee to finish the Boston Marathon. Amazing. And some of it, obviously, like we've touched on, are incredibly tragic, like the bombing attack in 2013. But what I want to focus on today is a controversial competitor from the 1980 race.
Ooh,
So
fuck a duck.
have either of you guys heard of Rosie Ruiz?
No. Oh, that sort of rings a bell, but I don't know if it's just a great
Just a
name.
good name.
It's a
You're
great
just
name.
responding to a good name.
Yeah, instantly recognizable.
Rosie Ruiz. I'll probably say both, and I'm sorry. She was working as a secretary at a commodities trading firm in Manhattan when she stunned the running world by being the first woman to cross the finish line in Boston in 2 hours, 31 minutes, and 56 seconds. So
That seems very quick.
it's very quick. It's very quick.
I have no concept of time.
Well, if you think about it, like Bobby did it in 3 hours something, Kathy did it in 4. So 2 hours,
Right,
2.5
yes.
hours is really fast.
Actually, my fastest ever 10Ks is a bit under 50 minutes. So even if I was able to, which I wouldn't be able to do
Yeah.
anything near that, that's like 4 of those, right?
Yes,
So I'm like 4 hours is what I would do,
at your absolute peak.
which I have never been.
Right. And she's done it in 2.5 hours.
Holy shit.
Massive. Massive.
I can't understand how people run that fast.
I think the world record's under 2 hours.
Is it really?
Yeah, it's
Oh
mental.
my God.
It's mental.
Insane.
Even like, so
I'm
I
hyperventilating.
I have done, twice now I've done a 6K run down in Apollo Bay for the Great Ocean Road Running Festival.
Yeah.
And I get to about the, I want to say 1.5 to 2K mark as the leaders are coming back.
Yep.
And they are so fast.
Isn't it weird seeing people running that fast and then knowing that they've been doing it for ages already?
And I've already stopped for 2 walk breaks. And they are, they're my version of sprinting.
They'd have to slow down in school areas, right?
I think legally, yes.
Yeah.
It's insane. And then we all kind of do like, good job, keep going. And they're always like teenage boys. And I'm
Yeah,
like, that's
right.
really great. Fuck you.
Just every leap is just like over a car.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
What distance did you say the marathon is?
A marathon is like 42.
42K.
195.
26 miles?
The world record is 2 hours, 1 minute, 39 seconds, meaning that for those 2 hours, the world record holder, who he's from Kenya, Eliud Kipchoge, that would mean that his average speed for 2 hours is over 21 kilometers per hour.
What?
Yeah. At my top speed, I couldn't get close to that.
Yeah.
That's a sprint.
He sprints for 2 straight hours.
That's insane. Is he 12 foot tall? Answer that, though.
He's just
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
crazy.
extremely gifted.
It's incredible.
At
The pace is amazing.
That was achieved at the 2018 Berlin Marathon. Oh, my God.
Right, so hang on. But that's just under 2 hours. She's done this in 2.5.
Yeah, and that's in the 80s too, so obviously things get
Yeah.
smaller and smaller. So that's a great time. That is a great time.
That's a freak time.
So I was trying to give Matt scale, and then I sort of
Yeah.
derailed there. Sorry, but yeah.
But so, did she win the race?
Yeah, she's
By
the first
mile.
woman to cross the line.
Right.
So first woman.
Right.
Men
right.
had finished already.
And was it just a huge gap, much like your Thailand run?
Yeah.
Daylight second.
People are still finishing that race.
It was the fastest female time in Boston Marathon history
Yeah.
and the third fastest time ever recorded by a woman in a marathon. So it was huge. Like, it was fast. And when officials crowned her the winner, people noticed that she was barely sweating.
Oh, okay.
Were wild dogs involved?
Not quite. Her hair was still perfectly styled. Her face was hardly flushed after 26 miles of running at an incredibly fast pace.
Right.
Observers noted that she didn't have the usual physique of a champion long-distance runner. Not to body shame, but there is a certain look of a long-distance runner.
Yeah.
She crossed the line not sweating, wearing a hoodie, eating a Big Mac. Something's not quite adding
I think
up
she
here.
just walked across the
In
line.
a car.
Someone drove her across the line. Whoa, it took you 2.5 hours to drive the marathon?
That's amazing.
Traffic's been a bitch.
I think there's something on. Some sort of event.
Yeah, I ran down a couple of people.
Yeah, so she didn't have the normal expected physique of a long-distance runner. Her thighs were less lean and muscular than would be expected for someone who'd just run that time.
Well, having said that, Usain Bolt obviously doesn't have the...
He's a sprinter.
But when you look at his body compared to even his competitors, people often say that he's way too tall to be a sprinter on paper.
Right.
But
Yeah,
then he's
right.
the fastest man in history. So she, I don't know, somehow
Yeah, no, of
could be
course.
an amazing runner.
Of course, it's not typical.
Yeah,
There isn't
sure.
one perfect body shape, but it's like, you look at the long-distance runners in the Olympics and stuff, and they're very slim. Sprinters have like bigger thighs. It's more about power.
Yeah. I'm intrigued.
Yeah,
What's it called when you have neither?
lazy.
Thank you. That's
I'm
me.
going to call it Warnocky.
Yeah, it's the same. Synonyms.
I don't really...
You're not lazy at all, actually.
But what about, I'm not thin enough to be a sprinter. No, a long-distance runner. But I'm not in any way muscular to be a
No.
sprinter, so...
No, you're definitely thin enough to be a sprinter. You just don't have any muscle. They still have muscle on them.
True. Sorry, that's the thing I'm missing.
I think you're a middle distance runner. That's what we're...
Yeah,
Yes.
we're talking like 400 metres for you.
Okay.
That's probably
I
still
could
very
try and
short.
run that distance.
Yeah, it's
I
like
could
the
try.
full way around a track. Could
Oh,
you
no,
handle it?
Not making it.
Okay.
Not making it. Where's the car?
Mum.
Gonna need the car.
In talking to her on the awards stand, the men's champion, a guy called Bill Rogers, realised that Ruiz didn't know basic things like her split times or intervals, things elite runners know by heart. So he's asking her like, "Oh, what were your splits?" And she's going, "My what?"
What, split?
Oh.
5. 5?
I hope
Well,
she
that's
was
like-
just a first-timer who just happened to be a sick runner.
She later released stress test results showing her resting heart rate as 76. Most female marathoners have a resting heart rate in the 50s or lower.
Right.
So, for context, mine's about 75.
Okay.
And I jog twice a week,
That sounds low. That's
really low distances,
Yeah.
short distances, and I lift weights twice a week.
Right.
Elite runners should be, down in the 50s, between 40 and 60 probably. So she's got a very average heart rate.
Is that so? The fitter you get at the longer distance, your heart rate.
Your resting
lowers.
heart rate is lower.
Is resting heart rate anything to do with resting bitch face?
No, but some people are lucky enough to have both.
A resting bitch face was in the mid 70s when it should have been in the mid 40s.
For an elite runner. So after the race, former runner and person I mentioned earlier, Kathy Switzer, spoke to Ruiz as part of some TV coverage of the event. She was interviewing her on TV and commented that Boston was her second race ever and that she had improved from a time of 2 hours 56 in New York to 2 hours 31 in just 6 months.
I love the idea of her just being like, what, is this good?
She's on TV.
And
Saying that.
Switzer was like, this is a huge improvement in a very short period of time. And she says, have you been doing a lot of heavy intervals, which is something that you would do to improve your time?
And she said, no, I haven't had my period yet this month.
Oh, regret? That's a big regret. Heavy intervals.
Can I ask?
You just heard heavy and
Matt's gone
went
with
to
a
period.
with a period joke there, but can I actually ask, as the token non-fit person here, what is a heavy interval?
So, as in, you would be pushing for faster times and probably interval training. So, run, walk, run, walk, run, walk. Builds your...
Try and get fit.
Yes.
Like your fitness. And then, so
Builds
instead of
your
aiming for
speed.
2.5 hours, you aim to like take a minute off your time or
Yeah,
whatever.
yep.
Right.
I had no idea what that meant either.
Okay, good. I thought, because you just moved on so quickly, I was like, well, I'm sure there's at least one person at home who doesn't know what that means,
So-
and I'm going to ask for them too.
Thank
elite
you.
runners would know their split times. So as in, let's say, for example, you're running 5 miles. Your split would be like the first mile I did it in this time, second mile was in this time, third mile.
Now you're talking. So you're playing Gran Turismo and you pass a checkpoint and the little thing comes out and there's a little ghost car from the last lap that shows how quick you were doing last time.
Yes.
So it's the little ghost car.
It's a ghost car.
Yeah,
Yeah.
understood.
God, that's
Could you
an
put
amazing
it into
analogy.
Daytona terms for me, Dave?
So you've put $2 in and you've got 30 seconds of enjoyment and now you've crashed out. What a great game.
It's good fun.
Manual, no fucking way.
Oh, never.
Whoa. If you play Daytona and you put it into manual, you are either the world's greatest driver or you're an idiot.
Manual's more fun.
No, it's not. It never makes any sense.
Not in Daytona. What are you doing? Donuts, you're spinning out. What's going on?
It's no good.
My thing was Daytona, you get 4 mates together and they're all lined up, so you try and play the same race. But if you don't hit the button in time, suddenly you're driving in your own race. They're over there.
Everyone's having fun.
Yeah. I'm just racing against the computer.
They're high-fiving each other.
I'm like,
You're going to be the best man at my wedding. You're like 7 years old. They're all in business together.
it's just me versus the fucking ghost car.
Little Dave. So sad. So anyway, Switzer says, have you been doing a lot of heavy intervals? And Ruiz says, no, I haven't had a period for a while. Should I get that checked? I think I need to see a doctor. Hang on, what day is it? Oh, boy.
I'm feeling kicks. Is that an issue?
Yeah, the real pullback and reveal here is that she's 7 months pregnant. But I wasn't going to say anything.
And that somehow shaved half an hour off her time.
Yeah.
Really, I'm running for 2.
Got 4 legs now. So.
Yeah, my baby's running with me. Let me tell you that. I do like weights training, and one of my friends that I train with is like due in a couple of weeks. She's heavily
Really?
pregnant,
Still trains.
and she's deadlifting over my body weight. She's just picking me up off the. It's fucking mental and so inspiring.
Does that
Women
mean-
are incredible.
Does that mean the baby will be buff?
I hope so. Tiny little baby 6-pack. Oh, hello. Anyway, okay, so Switzer says, have you been doing a lot of heavy intervals? Ruiz says, someone else asked me that. I'm not sure what intervals are. What are they?
She's not even hiding it,
this
so
still-
it feels like she's not. It's not a cheat thing. It's just she's an alien or
Is
something.
it still on TV?
It's on TV, yeah. I've seen the footage. It's amazing.
And is KV Switzer like, sorry, what? What are you talking about?
She asks her a lot of questions. She keeps kind of probing, and she's like, and what, this is, how many marathons have you done? She's like, 2. Like, okay. And your first one was 6 months ago, and you've improved by 20-something minutes. She's like, she's very friendly, but you can tell she's kind of like, what the fuck? And she concludes,
I've worked real hard
yeah,
to
I
get where I got.
My-
You just did it a couple of times.
my now husband had to push someone off the road to
That's right.
let me run, but you just fucking waltz
and you
on
ran-
in.
Ran it like 90 minutes faster than I did.
Insane.
But can I point out that we once did an Olympics special episode where I reported on Emil Zatopek, the Czech runner.
Yeah.
Oh, yep.
And he won the gold medal at the Olympics in his first ever marathon. He signed up like the week before and was like, yeah, won the 5,000 and 10,000 meters. And he was like,
right.
I'll give it a go.
yeah, I'll give it a crack. And then he
That's right.
won his first ever marathon. And that's Olympic standard. So maybe she's just a freak.
And we
Yeah.
also did a bonus episode about an Olympic marathon where a man was run off track by a pack of wild dogs. And he finished the race, and I think he came in the top 4. He ran an extra K
Because he was
wild
chased off
dogs
course.
chased him off course. And another man wore business pants and shoes to the start line, and someone got scissors out, cut him down. He finished the race, I think.
One hitchhiked.
Another one got an apple, ate an apple, had a stomachache, so had a nap for an hour, and then finished the race.
If you haven't, check out that bonus episode. I've laughed for
Yeah.
the majority of it.
It was a solid. We filmed you laughing, and that video goes for a solid 2 minutes.
It's so funny. It is really,
It's
really
so
Wild
delightful.
Dogs. I'm using every ounce of my self-control to not cry again right now about these fucking wild dogs.
And the thing is, like, you, you are so dry and you rarely crack like that.
You have such little charisma.
You fucking lost it. And I was actually at one point, I thought you were crying, and I thought Matt's had a bit of a breakdown here. I was sort of like gesturing to Dave, like, maybe stop recording for a minute. I think we need to check in with Matt mentally, because you were just screaming. It was the best. So yeah, definitely go back and check out that, because what happened with some dogs, Matt?
Well, I don't want to give too much away. Run him off track.
That episode is available on our Patreon feed.
So Switzer, she kind of concludes her interview by saying, Rosie Ruiz, the mystery woman winner. We missed her at all our checkpoints.
Oh.
Which brings up an excellent point.
Wait, what?
Well, that's why she's not getting any of those times people are talking about, because she
doesn't know her splits.
Yes, no one's giving her the splits.
So she...
Hold on, let me just try and explain this and guess what's happened. She's running so fast that they've missed her.
That's probably it.
Because people don't expect a lady to be able to run that fast on her second ever marathon.
Yeah.
I don't understand. Like, that seems like something's amiss, and she's just saying it like it's... Like... I don't understand why she's just saying, oh, we missed her at all our checkpoints on TV.
The commentator says it as she crosses the finish line.
Right.
He's like, well, didn't see her at any checkpoints.
There's a couple of alarm bells ringing for me.
And yet they said...
there's so many.
And yet they said, do you want to go talk about this on TV right now?
Yeah.
Let's not just quick little check.
Yeah.
Let's give her the medal, make the fuss, announce the winner.
Yeah,
and
everyone's
then,
clapping.
And I guess we'll just go from there. So no one, neither competitor nor spectator, could remember having seen her during the first 25 miles.
She was that quick.
That is fast.
Politics, global warming, male birth control. Nowadays, there's a lot of news, and it can be hard to understand, especially for a simple-minded person like you. That's why The Onion has launched The Topical, a new daily news podcast hosted by me, Leslie Price. Join us each day, and we'll explain all of the day's biggest stories using small words that you just might be able to understand, like bad and happy. From The Onion and Onion Public Radio, this is The Topical, available right now wherever you get your less interesting podcasts.
Acknowledged that she'd only started training 18 months earlier.
She only ran the last 5 miles of the race.
By running around Central Park, because she was from New York. And she only ever competed in one other marathon, the New York Marathon, 6 months earlier, where she had a notably slower, although still impressive time. So that's when she did in 2:56.
Yeah.
But now she's in 6 months has shaved off 20 minutes. When asked by a reporter why she did not seem fatigued after the grueling race, she said, I got up with a lot of energy this morning.
Yeah.
Which I get. I get that.
At a Barocca.
There's some days where you're like, I'm jumping out of bed. And other days, bloody hell, it is a struggle.
Yeah,
Am I right?
Real struggle.
Am I right?
When that alarm goes off, I hit snooze a couple times. You know what I'm saying.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
So, yeah, she's got a lot of energy, so that's why she doesn't even seem tired after running a full marathon.
I just want to...
That one makes sense.
Because I love stats and facts. 30-plus years later, the record for fastest marathon by a woman is 2 hours and 15 minutes. So she's only 15 minutes off world record pace 35 years ago.
It's a doable pace, but it's very fast.
For your second ever marathon, that is really fast.
Top 3 all time at that stage.
Yeah.
Yeah. You're a freak. The good kind. Some of her fellow female competitors asked her what she noticed about the suburb of Wellesley.
And she said, the trees. And they said, there is no Wellesley. Aha!
Well, no, they asked her about it because, famously, the students of Wellesley College, which is a women's college, form what is affectionately called the Scream Tunnel. For about a quarter of a mile or 400 metres, the students line the course and they scream and they cheer for the runners, particularly female runners. And the tunnel is roughly half a mile before the halfway mark of the course.
Okay.
And runners say that you can hear it about a mile away.
Yeah.
So you know you're getting close because you can already hear them screaming.
So they're just standing there screaming nonstop.
Yeah.
They're just being supportive.
Sounds like a hazing procedure.
No, well...
Are they trying to get an alpha delta or something?
They're just cheering, but they call it the Scream Tunnel. But when they asked her about Wellesley, she did not mention the Scream Tunnel at all. So they were like, that's weird. You'd probably be aware of that.
Yeah.
She accidentally run the wrong course.
Oh, that's sweet.
A
of you.
longer course.
I ran from New York.
Canadian runner Jacqueline Garreau was told that she was leading the race at the 18-mile mark. So as she sort of gets to that checkpoint, they're like, you're in the lead, kid. And Paddy Lyons was told she was second at the 17-mile mark. Ruiz couldn't have passed either of them without being noticed, as both were obviously gunning for the women's title. So they would have been hyper aware of other women.
Yeah.
So they're like, we didn't see her at all, and I was told I was winning.
Why not lift each other up, ladies? You know what I mean?
Right? Yeah.
Being hyper aware of each other. Why so competitive?
Come on.
You know what I mean?
In a race?
Yeah.
Why so competitive? In a competition?
You know what I mean? Yeah.
Like,
Thank you.
Duh.
So you see what I see.
Do you see any of the men being competitive?
Yeah, exactly. Now we're doing feminism right.
Yes. Let's keep it equal. Several spotters at checkpoints throughout the course also didn't remember seeing her in the first group of women. In addition, she did not appear in any pictures or video footage.
I think Dave's right. Too fast for cameras.
That's fast.
There were
That's
blurs
fast.
in some shots.
You can see me here, and possibly here.
Yeah. I mean, that's just technology not keeping up with her.
Yeah.
But a few days later, 2 Harvard students came forward to say they'd seen her run onto the course from the sidelines just a mile from the finish line.
That is awesome. That is so awesome. Is she just like a Chase's War and Everything style prank? Is that what this is?
It's Chaz Licciardello.
Yeah, this is Chaz. Is this Johnny Knoxville trying to win the marathon?
So, yeah. I was thinking the way she was answering it just sounded like she was real naive. But if she's just straight up blatantly cheated, that's so funny that she's then going,
so funny.
I didn't even research any of the terms.
What are intervals? I don't know.
What's running?
I just went for a jog.
Yeah. Just
decided yesterday I'd give it a go. So the skepticism surrounding Rosie Ruiz led to the New York Marathon to also look into the legitimacy of her finishing time from 6 months earlier. For the New York Marathon, she was credited with a time of 2:56.29, which was the 11th woman overall, enough for her to qualify for Boston. Weirdly, her application for the New York Marathon was submitted after the cutoff date, but she'd been granted special dispensation due to her claim that she was dying of brain cancer.
Oh.
She was absolutely not dying of brain cancer.
Oh, okay. I was going to say that's the right thing to do. If she is dying, let her in.
Let her in. No, she wasn't. A woman called Susan Morrow, who was a freelance photographer, came forward to tell the New York Times that she'd been on the subway with Ruiz during the New York Marathon.
Jeez, how are these people's memories?
She won the marathon by catching a train.
So
she did start it.
But is that during the New York one? Or
No,
the
New
Boston?
York. This is in New York.
So the 11th one. So
New York's looking into it now as well.
And then she was on. I imagine.
How is this photographer's memory of 6 months ago? Oh, yeah.
It wasn't six. Oh, yeah, it might have been 6
You know
months,
how because she remembers someone jogging onto the
yeah,
subway
right.
and then standing in front of the door jogging for 25 minutes, and then
She
when
would
the
have been
doors
wearing
open,
a number and everything.
doors open, she ran out. So I think that is technically it's jogging on the spot.
Yeah.
That's running.
But-
She's still covering the ground.
Well, Ruiz had told Susan that she had dropped out at the 10-mile mark with an injured ankle and that she was trying to just get to the finish line to watch her fellow competitors finish the race. She's like, I started, hurt my ankle, I'm just going to go and cheer them on. So they're on the train together, they're chatting. And then the 2 women walked together from the subway to the race, but Susan then lost sight of her new friend and didn't think anything of it until news of the Boston controversy broke. So does that explain how she remembers?
How did she remember? She just saw this woman on the train, formed a lifelong bond, and then all of a sudden she remembers her 6 months later? No. Oh, yeah, maybe.
Their brains don't work that way.
Women can't remember more than 1.5 miles at a time.
Women can't remember more than 1.5 people.
Yeah, I study phrenology. And is that the one with
the brain size?
I'd study phrenology, and yeah, I think I understand women can't run a race.
Who do you reckon has the smallest brain of the 3 of us?
Ooh.
Don't answer that.
Dave's got a big head.
Thank you. Thank you. Big empty head.
Tiny.
Plenty of room in this dome.
Got that Homer buffer around the brain.
Yeah, that's right. I can take a 2x4.
No problem. Anyway, so New York City Marathon officials launched an investigation and could not find any sign of Ruiz near the finish line. On April 25, so the New York one, she didn't actually even cross the finish line.
Right.
What
How do you
apparently
claim- yeah.
happened is that she went to a medical tent or something. Again, probably oh, my ankle. And they're like, oh, what was your time? And she told them and they just noted it down.
That's how easy it is?
That's not a good
That's
system.
how easy it was.
Okay. That's awesome.
Now you got little tags that they beep.
Hey, yeah, so I just did it in an hour, 15 minutes, so can I have a sandwich?
So they go through thousands of photos, all of their press, video and everything. Nothing of her.
Do you get a prize? Other than the glory
That's
of
a
the
great
stage?
question. I don't actually know. I don't think so.
Because you can understand that if she's got $50,000 or something.
No.
But like,
Sounds like a lot of effort to figure out if this
Yeah, it
woman
was-
came 11th or not.
yeah,
volunteer
exactly.
thing,
Yeah.
So then on April 25, based on this and other evidence, the Games Committee of the New York City Marathon retroactively disqualified Ruiz from the 1979 race. So they're like, you didn't actually finish, you're disqualified. Later that week, the Boston Marathon also disqualified her as well. So technically, because they disqualified her from New York, she probably already should have been disqualified from Boston, but Boston did some of their own research and they disqualified her as well.
Right.
Are you looking up if there's prize money?
Yeah, did you want to know?
Yeah, is there?
Currently, the fastest overall man and woman each win 150 grand.
Oh, fuck.
Whoa, that is big money.
That's huge.
Second gets 75, third 40. And yeah, you get, so well, it wouldn't have been like this back then, but 11th place gets 2,600.
Oh, wow.
Hmm.
That New York or Boston?
That's Boston. So,
Right, okay. She came 11th in New York,
Oh, yeah, so she came first in
first in Boston.
But I imagine 1980 would have been.
It would have been different, but regardless, there's...
Yeah, there is, seemingly, at least now there is.
Yeah, I wonder if there was then.
That's
'cause
a lot of cash.
I didn't read anything about the money, so maybe there wasn't at the time.
Right.
I'm sorry if you know the race inside out and you know the answer, but I didn't read anything about any prize money or anything like
Yeah.
that, so I'm not sure. Anyway, so yeah, Boston's done their own investigation and then they take action, and so Jacqueline Garreau was declared the female winner with a time of 2 hours 34 minutes. So she only came in 4 minutes behind this woman anyway.
Who
At that time,
didn't run.
yeah, at that time it was the fastest recorded for a woman in the Boston Marathon. And Patty Lyons was moved up to second place, and her time of 2 hours 35 minutes, so she was just behind Jackie, was the fastest ever recorded for an American woman in a marathon at the time. So Rosie's bullshit dampened these two women breaking records.
I still am not convinced about the bullshit. My theory is she's too fast for cameras.
I guess you're going to explain. What was in it for her? Was she just she was just a bit of a troublemaker?
Who knows?
I still don't know.
Who knows? Because after her disqualification, Ruiz was quoted as saying, "I can truthfully and honestly say without hesitation that today has been the second saddest day of my life.
Okay.
Only to be surpassed by the day I had to leave my father in my native country 18 years ago. She left Cuba for Florida when she was 8 years old."
Right.
So she is still going, no, I absolutely... And there was press leading up to before she was disqualified, and she was like crying and saying like it's just so insulting. She's like, I got to enjoy it for 1 minute, and then there's all of this has started, and everyone's doubting me, and if this title is stripped from me, I don't know what I'll do. Like, she was really... And people were supporting her. Like, she joined a running club in New York. Not the New York Roadrunners are like a really big one.
Yeah.
And even Switzer is asking her about it in the interview. And she's like, no, I'm not a member of them. She's joined some running club the week before the New York Marathon. And people from that are backing her up.
Oh.
They're like,
saying
no,
she can run that
of course
fast?
she can.
Oh, weird.
It's really weird.
That it is the kind of thing where if there's all this press and stuff going, you've cheated, you can't run that fast. She could go, well, all right, next week let's do it again. Everyone can watch me do it.
In one newspaper, they ran like a little article thing saying, hey, we believe you.
Yeah.
Really, we do. Prove it to people, do it again, and we'll give you $1,000.
Yeah.
Which at the time was big money. But she was like, I won't do that.
I choose not to run.
Yeah, exactly.
Superman theme.
Yeah.
So the whole time, she never admitted that she'd lied and cheated. And she always stood by her claim that she had just done a few extra laps of Central Park and that was it. Just, I won. I don't know how to explain that I'm not in any photos, that nobody saw me, that there's no checkpoints, that I wasn't
What do
sweating.
you mean she did a few extra laps?
She was saying that that's how she decreased her time so significantly. Oh, I've been running around Central Park a lot.
I didn't train for the New York, and I trained a little bit
right.
for this. So
Sorry,
obviously,
I thought you were saying I ran at the same speed, but in New York I got lost. I did a few laps of Central Park, then I found the way, and then that was 25 minutes lost.
Yeah, silly me. But hey, still came 11th, so...
Did she ever run again professionally?
Nah.
Wow.
how confusing.
That is full Jerry. She just never ran again, so we can never fully prove that she can't run that fast.
Yep. She has always maintained that she completed and won the race fair and square. She kept her medal. They let her keep the medal, and they made a new one for Jacqueline Garreau.
Okay.
So she always maintained that she did it. But in 1996, a guy called Steve Marrick, one of the people who had been defending her, a member of that running club, he said that several months after the marathon, she admitted to him that she'd cheated. But that's the only time that she's apparently said she did.
But it's a bit of hearsay.
Yeah,
And
prove it, man.
This is a quote from him to the Boston Globe. He said, she jumped out of the crowd, not knowing that the first woman hadn't gone by yet. Believe me, she was as shocked as anyone when she came in first.
Right.
So she timed it badly.
Yeah.
Because if she'd come in, I don't know if she planned on winning it, but if she'd come in maybe further down.
Like she did in New York.
Yeah, less notable, but maybe still for a little bit of prize money.
That's
Maybe it
like-
was money related.
That's like when we talked about, I did the report on Donald Crowhurst, who entered that round the world sailing event.
Yeah.
And his plan was to, in the end, come in second, because first is the one that people focus on, and then they go through photos and make. But if you come second, they go, yeah, great, good on you. You came second, no worries. So
And
she could have done that.
He still would have completed it.
Yeah, so you still get the kudos of, yeah, I did it. But my surprise is that she jumped out of the crowd and no one was like, hey, what's that lady doing?
Yeah.
But yet someone 6 months earlier remembered a subway ride with her.
Yeah. More recently, very recently, Bill Rogers, the guy who won, the man who won, he was interviewed about it as well. And his theory, he was the one who noticed she wasn't sweating and didn't know her split times and stuff. But he was like, she was wearing quite a heavy T-shirt and she had the sleeves down. If you're running, you're going to roll your sleeves up so that you can sweat. I'm like, Bill, do you understand how sweat works? It doesn't come out of the T-shirt. What are you talking about?
Some people run in T-shirts, Bill.
Yeah, but some people run in space suits. They can do whatever they want to do, Bill. What a weird thing to say.
Did you see Kathy Freeman? She wore a
Yeah.
hoodie.
And she
All the
smashed
way to
it.
gold. They're doubts about that run?
Oh my God.
Oh my
There better
God.
not be.
I mean, that was very televised.
Yeah,
Yeah.
there were so many
We've
cameras.
definitely seen start to finish of that one.
Yeah.
Every angle. Because it also went for 20 seconds or something.
The maximum I could do at school, I'm not a long distance runner. I was definitely a sprinter. And I was good at 100 metres. 200 was a push. The one time I tried 400, oh boy.
Did you make it?
Yeah, but poorly.
They're
and then
meant to be the
1,000
hardest, aren't
metres,
they?
my God. What?
4 and 800 are meant to be there because they're like sprints, but they're long sprints, so they're
Yeah.
the most brutal ones.
Well, it's
sort of?
kind of about you got to get your pace right, so you're not going 100% the whole time.
Right.
But I was like, I don't really know how to go 75%.
Yeah.
I'm running. I'm doing it.
I don't know how to do anything less than 100.
I don't know how to not go super fast.
I don't know how to not win.
Yeah.
So she was never officially punished for her course cutting, but her lying didn't stop there. Also, I also read that a lot of marathoners consider course cutting worse than doping.
Right.
That is the ultimate dog act.
Because doping, you still have to run the full race.
Exactly. Doping, at least you're still attempting the full thing, but if you're cutting the course, you are a fucking dog.
I reckon course cutting is the funnier of the two, though. If you can get away,
100%.
If you to bring it back to video games, you're playing Mario Kart or whatever, and if you can do a little thing that cuts off half a lap or something, you drive through the sand and it works out in your favour. That's a great moment.
Yeah.
That is a great moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, you've been outsmarted other runners.
Exactly.
Don't get so
Yeah,
upset.
it's a tactic.
Yeah.
Course cutting is a tactic. If you can get away with it,
Yeah. I'm running
I say do it.
less distance faster than you.
Yeah.
What I'm being efficient.
Yeah. Who's the idiot here?
Come on.
Come
Do
on.
I have to explain this to your tiny brain?
Also, I've taken steroids, which apparently is less bad.
Yeah, her lying didn't quite stop there. So a couple of years later, she was charged for embezzling $60,000 from a real estate company where she worked She spent 1 week in jail and was sentenced to 5 years probation.
No, surely the transaction was just too fast to track.
Does just got the vibe of a compulsive liar who kind of believes her own bullshit.
I think so.
That is often part of the problem, really, isn't it?
Well, she then moved back to South Florida, where she was arrested in 1983 for her involvement in a cocaine deal to an undercover cop.
Cocaine makes you
bad
pretty
customers.
quick.
And again, 3 years probation. Didn't do any jail time for that. Basically, just kind of summing it up. So Rosie Ruiz actually, she passed away earlier this year. Possibly why Brianna was aware of her. It was in the news a little bit again. But her death almost went unnoticed. Someone happened to spot an obituary with a photo that looked a lot like her and the name Rosie M. Vivas, which is a surname she understandably kept even after her divorce in the late 80s. You probably wouldn't keep Ruiz, you know. People could look you up too easily.
She must have a very memorable face.
Yeah, it does. Like
people are seeing photos, being like, "Oh, that's her." People are remembering her from the subway, of course.
Yeah, well, there's like lots of photos and footage from those press conferences and stuff, so you can compare them pretty easily.
Are you saying that she kept a different name because you believe that she doesn't like notoriety? This woman who cheated to win races? I don't like attention.
I don't want everyone looking at me. Oh no. But yeah, basically she was she passed away earlier this year. I think cancer, if I'm remembering correctly, and she was survived by her partner of 26 years, Margarita Alvarez, and Alvarez's 3 sons. So after the race and a couple of criminal offences in the 80s, pretty normal, quiet life from then on. But for that one race in 1980, she was the centre of attention for a long time, and we never really got closure where she was like, yeah, look, I meant to come in like 4th, have some cash and move on.
Right.
I stuffed up my timing.
How old was she when she passed?
66 or something? Oh, I forgot to mention she was 26 at the time of the Boston Marathon.
Right. So quite young.
So are we led to believe this is some sort of mystery episode?
In a way, yes. And also, they were like, well, this looks like her. So there's a little part of me that's like,
It
she's
might
still
not
out
even
there.
be her.
No, I'm pretty sure it is, and I don't mean to disrespect, but there's a little part of me that's like, maybe she's not.
Wow, she's too fast for death.
I can't.
Could the mole people be involved? Maybe they tunneled her a shortcut?
I can only assume that is exactly what's happened.
Wow.
Yeah.
Course cutting through the mole people.
Yeah.
But that is my report on Rosie Ruiz and the 1980 Boston Marathon.
That is such an interesting tale. Thank you very much, Jess Perkins.
Well done.
So fun. So wild.
Crazy.
Well done, Rosie Ruiz.
Yeah.
And well done to the Patrons for picking a good story.
Yeah. That's one I'd never heard of.
I tried not to give it away too much because the way that Brianna had written it in the hat was like Rosie Ruiz, the woman who won the marathon by like taking the subway. But I didn't want to put that in there and ruin it for people, so I just said she won by cheating.
Right.
And 50% of the people were like, tell me more, Jess. So yeah, well voted.
Never been proven, but you're saying she cheated.
I'm saying she cheated and she's maybe alive.
Wow.
Whoa.
So, and also her running club backed her up. So I think she is legit and too fast for cameras.
Yeah.
So Matt and I are not convinced that she's a cheater.
Because even if the mole people did burrow her a shortcut, that's going to still be longer because she's got to go down.
Yeah.
And then up again.
Yeah, that takes time.
Yeah.
Through the fortress of the moles.
Exactly.
And
She probably had to stop for tea, which is, one of the cultural things they make you do.
It'd be very rude to disrespect the
And they are
king of the
notoriously messy, so she really had to climb over some stuff too, It wasn't an easy
I've never
path.
pictured them, mole people. Are they people who look like moles or moles who look like people?
I'm imagining Hans Moleman because there is that Simpsons thing where he says, there is no escape from the fortress of the moles. And then he bungee jumps straight back up. That's good stuff.
There we go, you snuck one in there.
Another Simpsons thing that it just was running through my head the whole way through. One of the characters in this story was called Spitzer, and my head kept going,
White wine spritzer, spritzer,
Switzer.
Switzer.
That's close.
White
close.
wine
Switzer,
Switzer.
Switzer.
Great episode.
Yeah. But here we are.
That is a great tale. Thank you very much, Jess Perkins, for informing us.
An absolute pleasure.
Thank you so much.
And before we jump into our Patreon section of the episode, just in case people missed it at the start of this episode, we are heading up Sydney this Saturday night for a fantastic live show at the Giant Dwarf Theatre.
Dwarf the Rock Johnson's friend. The Wharf.
This Saturday night in Redfern, and we also just announced our Ireland and UK tour happening in December, where we're visiting Dublin, Glasgow, Leeds, Bristol, London and Birmingham. Tickets for the Patreon supporters are on sale this Friday morning, local time, and Monday morning for everyone else if tickets are still available. So please.
Come on down!
Oh my God, it would be so great if everyone came out again, because it was like probably the best couple of weeks of my year last year, going to the UK with you guys.
Oh, big time. It was awesome.
So fun.
And I'm really excited to go back. We had so much fun at the shows last year, but also just, beautiful part of the world. And I get to go back to Dublin, so I'm very happy.
So fun. And we pretty much, I feel like we met a good 50% of the people who came to the shows. After the shows took us as long as the shows.
Longer.
Yeah.
It was amazing.
So nice.
And we'll be doing that again, hanging out, saying hey, getting some photos if you are keen to do that.
Yeah.
And yes, if you missed it as well at the top, we're in the midst of planning a North American thing. It's going to be most likely Canada in the first half of next year, and we will have more details to announce about that in the coming weeks or months.
Yes. Coming time.
Yes, thank you. That's
You're
more
welcome.
efficient. In the time ahead. Well, that brings us to everyone's favourite segment of the show. It's the fact, quote, or question segment of the show.
Fact, quote, or question.
And that's where one of our patrons at patreon.com/dogoonpod on the Sydney Scheinberg Deluxe level get to give us a fact, a quote, or, you probably guessed it by now, a question. One of those three. And this week, already been mentioned on this episode, funnily enough, Tiernan Ennis.
Hey!
He's given us a quote, but you also get to give yourself a title, and he's given himself the title of 5th tier assistant to the 7th level intern of the sound department of Do Go On Tour.
Yes.
That is no joke. That's just the next one in line, entirely coincidentally.
That's awesome. Do you know what I reckon about Tiernan? And I hope that he and his lovely wife wouldn't mind me saying this. I feel like I could run at Tiernan and jump, and he would just catch me, I think it's because he reminds me of my friend Lewis. Physically, they look very similar. Tall men with
Strong
red
core,
beards.
you're thinking.
Yeah. And I do that to Lewis. I just jump, and he catches me.
I
reckon Tiernan would. I would trust him to catch me.
We're talking like Dirty Dancing catch?
Oh, well, I don't think I have the core strength for that.
Right.
But no, more just like a
Yeah.
that kind of catch me.
If you fall, I will be
waiting. Time after
Tiernan.
time. Anyway, Tiernan.
He's given us a quote, which we don't get heaps of quotes, I don't believe. And his quote is, "A corpse is meat gone bad. Well, and what's cheese? Corpse of milk." That's a James Joyce quote. And
A famous Dubliner.
And then he said, "Not everyone likes cheese. Yuck."
And I just talked about cheese before.
You did?
This is spooky.
I feel like Tiernan is giving us a subtle hint. He's not into cheese.
And that's fine. I wasn't for a long time either. And then I discovered a double brie.
Oh, did you discover the joy of cheese?
Yum, yum, yum.
God, I live for it. I live for cheese.
You
I
love
live for the
cheese.
milk corpse.
That isn't, the milk corpse isn't a way I would describe it to try and get someone on board, but...
Sorry, I just had an idea for the next part of what we do here.
Oh, great. Well, we should say a big thank you to Tiernan Ennis. What a bloody legend.
Thanks, Tiernan.
Can't wait
Fifth-tier
to
assistant.
see you very soon.
In Dublin, I'll shout you some cheese, mate. Hoping that you'll say you hate it, and then I'll eat it all.
Yeah, let's share a cheese platter.
So that brings us to everyone's favourite segment of the show, and that is where we thank a few of our Patreons.
Yes, and I've had an idea for a game we can play with our Patrons this week. And that is, what sporting event do we think they would win? Legitimately. These are not a bunch of cheaters.
Right, okay.
Is that an okay idea?
Great. Because, I love the idea that they course cut no matter what the sport is, even for
Yeah.
archery.
Yeah, great, okay. Yeah, that's fair. Can I start things off?
Sure, please do.
All right. From, oh my God, and again, ironically, not ironically, but coincidentally, from Dublin, in Dublin, I would like to thank Emma Coogan.
Oh, Cougs.
Oh,
Emma, this
Cougstar.
has been a big episode for you. First of all, you find out we're coming to you. Secondly, I mention your name. Thirdly, you go, fuck, I'm actually away during that time and I won't be there. I don't know, I'm just assuming. Maybe. It's possible. You've got plans. You've got a
Cougs,
life.
are you going to be there?
Cougs, come on down. Cougs. Emma
Cougs.
Coogan.
So what's the thing? It's an event?
Or any kind of sporting event or a
Sporting
sport.
event. I'm going to say she wins
Mm-hmm.
the 100-meter guitar solo sprint.
Whoa! So she's got a sprint
So you
and
got a
shred.
Yeah, there's a Marshall stack at the finish line. You've got a 100-meter lead, and you're holding a Telecaster, right?
I love that there are wireless systems available, but you've still got to leave.
Because you've got to run the full length of the lead, and whoever knocks over their stack first, but you got to shred the whole way.
Wow.
And she did.
Wow. Good for Emma.
Wow, what was her solo of choice? Or is it like, do you just
Her
make it
shortcut
up?
was she used power chords. So
Right.
Oh,
is
that's
that a shortcut?
cheating.
Is that cheating?
Sure.
Especially if you're supposed to be doing a solo.
I mean,
Yeah.
this is also
You play chords. I just played a G chord for 100 metres. That is not a solo.
not a solo.
Cougs, come on.
Ding-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling-a-ling. That's the G, is it?
That's just really annoying.
Yeah.
It wasn't even fun to listen to. Also, they're all competing at the same time.
Yeah. It's
So-
a cacophony.
Yeah, it wouldn't sound good.
Yeah. Bloody
But-
that guy who's in jail for murder loved it though. The guy, the Wall of Sound guy.
Okay.
What's his name?
Oh, I can picture
There's
his
an episode
face.
in him. What was it? I was listening to something
No idea.
recently. They were talking about. It was like
Spector. Phil
yeah,
Spector.
Phil Spector.
Phil Spector, producer who went to jail a few years ago. He produced Let It Be, the original.
John Mulaney was on
Mix
a
for the
podcast. He's like, and he was saying how he wore an afro wig at his trial as a tribute to Jimi Hendrix
Good.
His trial for what?
for murder. The one that he went to
sorry,
jail
sorry.
for. He wore this huge afro wig apparently as a tribute to Jimi Hendrix as he's getting sentenced for murder. It's the weirdest thing I've
What are
ever
you
heard.
thinking?
We got to do an episode. We got to do an episode on that guy.
I mean, that's entirely within our control.
Yeah.
You can definitely do that.
Okay.
Thank you so much to Emma Coogan. We really hope that we can see you in a few months in your beautiful, beautiful city. And I would also like to thank, oh my God, from another place we're going very soon.
We promise that this is
Sydney.
not worked out like this.
We are going to Leeds,
We are, yes.
and hopefully we are going to see Jimothy Miller there.
Jimothy Miller.
Jimothy,
Jimothy. That's so good. I didn't know that was a real name.
I was gonna say,
that's been a
have you met other
long-term
Jimothys?
favorite joke name of mine, Jimothy. I call my friend James Jimothy sometimes.
That's good.
Yeah, I didn't realize it was a real name.
Jimothy.
I don't know how to feel about that.
Jimothy.
Jimothy Miller. Sick name.
So good.
Love it.
Thank you, Jimothy.
Okay, what
Leeds.
sport, Dave, is Jimothy the winner of?
I think he's really good on the unparalleled bars
Oh.
in the gymnastics.
The uneven bars.
No, not the uneven, the
That's a real thing.
unparalleled.
So they cross over at some point.
Yeah.
Where?
Basically, what they do for this event is they take you to any, like you're blindfolded, you put in a van.
Uh-huh.
Sounds weird, but it's not. But it is. And they drive you to any park. They release you onto the jungle gym, and you've got to perform with whatever you got there.
Right.
And they call that the unparalleled bars because there's
The
stuff going
swirly
everywhere.
ones. And,
Yeah.
Oh,
and
wow.
You've got the ones with noughts and crosses on them.
Yeah, you got to try and play noughts and crosses game
There's
within
the
your
steering wheel for some reason up top there.
Wow.
two different slides. You get burnt by both of them.
God.
And he is the best.
Wow, Jimothy.
Thanks, Jimothy. We hope to see you in Leeds. The Wardrobe. What a great venue there that was. Lovely.
That was a lot of fun. Loved our time at the Wardrobe. Oh, you know what's different about this tour of the UK? I'm not drinking.
Oh, no.
Does that mean you're...
Oh, God.
Does that mean you're not driving? No, you are not driving. Sorry.
No. I learned a lot in that year of not drinking. I'm way more responsible these days. Why are you looking at me like
So
that?
we'd leave that for a second.
Yeah, have a think about that.
Genuinely, I am.
Okay.
I am.
Okay.
I like to drive. Can I thank a couple of people?
I would
please?
love if you would thank a couple of people.
Oh, thank you so much. I'd love to thank from Sheffield, which isn't actually too far from Leeds.
No, I think that is a few people from Sheffield were at our last year's Leeds show.
I would love to thank Hannah McAfee.
Hannah McAfee.
Which is a name I've seen. I think I might have even chatted to Hannah before online. It's one of my all-time favourite names, Hannah McAfee.
It's so good.
So good.
It's genuinely so good.
Hannah McAfee. What do you think? What kind of event do you think she won? Perco?
Hannah is actually the world champion of freestyle improvised synchronized swimming. But it's not synchronized, obviously, because it's improvised and it's solo. So basically she just, it's like water dancing.
Oh.
If you think about that, you think about like calisthenics or like sports aerobics.
Yeah.
It's that, but in the water.
Yeah. Wow.
But also, I think the thing that it stands out so much about Hannah is the elements of ballet that she incorporates.
Wow.
Because it's not just physically impressive in terms of like the power. It's also really moving.
She puts the lake in Swan Lake.
Yes.
Wow.
And honestly, the judges were in tears.
Holy
It
shit.
was truly moving and beautiful.
Oh, beautiful. Okay, great.
Yeah, they weren't like, I hate it, you know?
Part of the dance was her yelling at them.
Pointing at their flaws.
Evoking emotion is what she calls it.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So, yeah, that's what Hannah...
I feel evoked.
yeah, I feel emotion.
Hannah McAfee, thank you so much for your support.
Hope we
Thank
can
you,
see you,
Hannah
Hannah.
McAfee. A 55-minute drive if you left now from Sheffield to Leeds.
Don't leave now.
No,
Hannah.
you'll be there so early.
Way too early.
An 11-hour walk.
Okay.
That seems... I mean, still, you
That's
don't
less
have to leave
waiting
now.
time.
Yeah.
Just move there and just wait.
Can we drive through Sheffield? I've heard good things.
Sure. If we've got time.
Great.
It's pretty tight turnaround.
It is a tight tour. Could I also thank a little closer to home in Cranbourne West,
Yes.
Oh, I love it.
Ashley Bourgeois Latchford.
Oh,
that-
Ashley.
Now that is a name.
Jess, could you have a crack at that for me?
Ashley.
ABL?
What? ABL. Oh, Ashley. Get Dave to do it. Dave's better at things.
Yeah, he's French.
I reckon Bourgeois is probably...
Bourgeois.
Yeah, I reckon. And Ashley, I reckon you're probably used to people saying that wrong. If
Ashley
we didn't get it
Bourgeois
right, I'm
Latchford.
very sorry.
Thank you so
Ashley.
much. Ashley. Dave, do you have any idea what Ashley...
Well, I reckon a double-barrel name, a double-barrel shotgun.
Oh.
She's a competitive shooter,
Yep.
and she shoots the tires of mailmen.
Whoa.
Tires of mailmen.
Yeah.
Like
and she's
their
really good
trucks
at it.
or...
Yeah, no, like the bikes.
Postie bikes?
Postie bikes. She takes out their tires.
Cool.
And she's so good at it that they were like, can't beat them, join them. Give her a medal.
Wow. So she was just doing it recreationally for a while.
Yeah, she just had a thing against the post.
Yeah. Oh, don't we all?
They delivered, but well, they didn't deliver.
Yeah.
Few too many times.
Yeah.
We're assuming Ashley is a woman's name, are we? Because that
Oh,
is...
it could definitely be male. They. There you go.
Sorry, Ashley, if
Well
I've
done.
presumed wrong there.
They are.
Either way, you're handy with a double-barrel shotgun.
Yes.
No, I've just Googled her. I believe if this is her with a horse,
Are we sure the horse is not?
how many
her?
Ashley Bourgeois Latchfords could there be? I found her MySpace.
God, that's weird that you Googled her.
Oh, sorry. Sorry if that's weird. Sorry.
Don't worry, Matt will drop by your house on the way home tonight just
And
to double check.
apologise.
No, I will not. I just was like, oh, Ashley is a unisex name.
Is there anything else on the MySpace that's...
Oh, my
not
God.
a-
I haven't looked.
Oh my
I closed
God,
it as
Dave,
soon as
please
Jess
just thank,
shamed me.
Thank a couple of people,
So I was
please.
just hoping for like some rainbows or something, that remember you used to have to code it yourself.
Oh, yeah. That was weird.
Part of the fun, I think.
Yeah, I agree. I was like, I want this bit to be bold, and this bit to be italic, and this bit to be in a bigger font. And I knew how to do that. Now,
Yeah.
no idea.
And heart semicolon. You got a
Yeah,
heart.
of course. And like, who's your top friend? It was always my best friend Christy because no man got in our way. Do you know what I mean?
Yes.
right.
And you
I'll
and
start
Christy?
with Tom, I think.
Yeah.
You and Christy, no man's ever gotten in your way? Or...
No.
Nice.
No man.
That's a beautiful story.
Yep. She's married, and at her wedding, there's a picture of when we were signing all the documents and shit.
Autographs.
She's sitting down, and her new husband is like giving her a kiss on the cheek. On the other side, there's Perko, also giving her a little kiss on the cheek, just to remind him that she's not all yours, mate.
Just to
Okay,
remind him that she has an inappropriate best friend ready to ruin every moment.
she has a best friend who
Cutting-
doesn't know boundaries.
Cutting the cake, first dance with her dad. You're there.
I was there. Oh, what? I wasn't. What? The maid of honor's not supposed to jump in there and dance with the dad?
Come here, Ian. I assume his name's Ian.
His name's Rudy.
Wow, that's really cool.
He's a great dude.
It's a really cool name.
I know that because I'm very close with the family. James,
Little too
back
close.
off.
Little
All
too
right?
close. I would like to finally thank two fantastic people that have been supporting the show for a while now. I would like to thank, from Alexandria in New South Wales,
Oh, yeah.
I would like to thank Amelia Rice.
Amelia Rice.
Good name, Amelia Rice.
Amelia Rice, yeah, I like
Great
that a
name.
lot.
Like a one-syllable last name.
Champion climber of trees.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, tall trees.
Really tall ones.
Really quick to the top,
Yeah,
or can
quick.
go the highest?
She's quick to the top of the highest trees.
But also technique-wise.
Yeah.
She is renowned in the sport as like a beautiful climber.
Right, so this judge is giving her tens.
And it's
on the
just
ground.
nice to watch.
And once on top, she can just prance on the canopies.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Prance.
How does she do it? Up on the canopies.
That's
Prancing.
not even part of the competition anymore.
She just does it. It's just part of her flair.
That's her showing off, really.
Yeah, she's quite arrogant.
But
No,
when you're the,
But wouldn't you be?
Rice.
Yeah.
I mean, wouldn't you be if you could prance?
when you're the best,
She prances
you know
on a
it.
canopy.
She's not an idiot.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Amelia Rice.
Thank you, Amelia Rice.
Appreciate your support. And finally, another Irish listener. And
Bloody
again,
hell.
this is just from chance, but been supporting the show for a long time, from Tipperary.
Hey, we're a long, long way from Tipperary. That's a thing, isn't it?
Is that whereabouts in Ireland is that?
Whereabouts is Tipperary in
Yeah,
Ireland?
I don't know
It's
my
in
geography too.
Tipperary.
Tipperary. Oh, that looks. It's like the middle of Ireland, towards between Dublin and Cork. So maybe you can make it up to our show in Dublin. It is a Sunday. I would like to thank from Tipperary, Ian Ma.
Ian Ma.
Ian Ma.
Ian Ma.
So we all said it now.
Ian Ma.
Thank you so much for your support, Ian.
Mega.
That is possibly how it should be
It's
said.
not how it's said.
Jess, what are you thinking for Ian Ma from Tipperary?
It's actually interesting. It's a more recent sport on the global sporting scene.
Yes.
But he is actually a champion sleepwalker.
Whoa.
Wow.
Yeah.
How do you do that?
Well, what you do is you walk in your sleep. What a
Okay.
dumb fucking question.
That
Are
was
you
so
serious?
silly, yeah.
Is he so good that he never wakes up?
He's actually, he's attempted half his record
Yeah.
awake. Can't do it.
Wow. Okay.
He is that good, just switched off.
I'm so confused.
What do you mean? He sleepwalks
I'm
long
so
distances.
I'm so
Oh.
impressed. Is he
and
so
quickly.
He's so good at sleepwalking that he got a job that he didn't even apply for. He just wandered into an office asleep, and they were that impressed. He's in his pajamas.
Yeah.
Yeah. What was the job?
He's active pajamas.
What was the job?
Modeling pajamas.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh my.
Please, can you stand in the you stand in the window? They paid a minimum wage. If anything, was they left him in the window for 20 hours.
Yeah.
They owe Ian an apology.
He awoke very rested.
He woke up in the main street of Tipperary.
Yeah.
The
But
window.
yeah, so Ian is nationally ranked and soon to be competing internationally.
Wow.
Yeah, it's pretty impressive.
It really is. Thank you so much, Ian.
A lot of people not really taking sleepwalking that seriously yet, but Ian's really at the forefront of getting the recognition that it deserves.
Well done, Ian.
Putting it on the Irish map.
Yeah, and that's we, the people of Ireland, including myself. We thank you.
Are you a people of Ireland?
I like to think so. I've been asked for directions in Dublin. I think that counts.
Wow.
Perkins feels Irish.
Perkins is very English.
Did you know? Did you know the directions, or did you just make them up?
I actually did that time.
That is satisfying.
Yeah.
Did you?
It was to a landmark.
Don't want to be racist, but did you put on an Irish accent to try and keep up with the facade?
I didn't.
Right.
Is that racist?
I didn't feel comfortable doing that.
Is that?
But then they also
be
noticed
sure
that I
it is.
didn't sound Irish, and they're like, "What?" I said, "I'm Australian."
And they said,
I've
"Why am I
just-
trusting you, idiot?"
So I've just been here before, and also I just came from the thing you're trying to get to. It's just up there.
Well, I don't believe it.
They spat on you.
Yeah, it
and
was
went on
very.
their way.
They went the opposite way on
opposite way.
purpose, and I was like, "All right, well, I was right." So, guess you'll never know.
They just kept wandering. They
Dummies.
refused to turn back.
Yeah, I was like, "Wow, you are stubborn."
Lying.
They were also Australians. Anyway, thank you so much to everybody that we have just mentioned.
That's right. And if you want to join that crew, go to patreon.com/dogoonpod. We put out 2 bonus episodes a month that no one else hears. You get to vote for the topics and change the history of and direction of the show. You can be in our Patreon Facebook group, where people are constantly chatting about the show and even other stuff, which is very, very nice in there. And you get pre-sale tickets, like, for example, the UK and Irish tour. We actually told them on Monday. They've known for a couple of days.
Yeah, they've had time to process this.
And they're getting the tickets on Friday.
Yeah, it's something we talk to the patrons about everything first, usually, just to get
I just
their
talk to them about how I'm
thoughts.
feeling.
Yeah, we bounce off ideas.
Yeah.
Is it fondue for dinner tonight?
Jess writes a weekly newsletter.
Yeah, most weeks.
There-
Sometimes I forget.
The other shows we do out this week, Dave's done an episode about Romeo and Juliet.
That is right. I've got two fantastic guests from Sanspants Radio that came out just yesterday. Joel Zammett, Cass Page came and chatted about Romeo and Juliet. It was the first one where the guests really knew quite a lot about the text because obviously such a famous story. But
Sure.
that actually made it a lot of fun to talk about the pitfalls of
You bite your thumb at me, sir?
Yes.
Was there jokes about that?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, great.
And pitfalls of marrying a 13-year-old.
And the Primates episode that comes out tomorrow also features Cass Page and Nick Mason from the Weekly Planet. And we talked about Batman, the Bold and the Brave, and an episode that features so many DC apes, including Gorilla Grodd, Monsieur Marla, I think, who's like a rebel ape. And then there was Detective Chimp, who's like wears a deer hunter. What is it called? A deer
stalker?
Deer stalker hat.
Oh, yep.
And yeah, there were thousands of apes in this 22.
1,000?
Yeah.
22.
All the apes in the world were sort of features in this episode.
Wow. It
It's a great
sounds right up
interesting
your
time.
alley.
Yes, it was kind of a fun. And Diedrich Bader plays Batman in this series.
Oh.
Do you know familiar with him?
No,
He's
remind
a
me.
comedy actor. He's from like Drew Carey show and
Who do you play in Drew
Office
Carey?
Works. One of the friends. The sort of
Oswald?
the dark-haired friend.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool. I actually never knew
He's
that guy's name.
Batman.
He's really funny.
Yeah, he's really funny. He's in heaps of stuff. So good. He makes me laugh a lot.
Very good.
So you can check those pods out just wherever you listen to this pod. I'm sure you'll be able to hear those pods.
Yes, and there'll be links in the description. I pointed down quite literally there, which is funny, but only to me.
Comment below. That's what you were doing.
And Matt points to his genitals.
Comment on this.
Yeah, check it out. Well, that does bring us to the end of another episode. Thank you so much for joining us. We'll be back next week with another episode of...
Yes, live from Sydney.
Yeah, hell yeah. Hopefully you'll be able to join us live at the show, but if not, you'll be able to hear it this time next week. But until then, I'll say thank you and goodbye!
Later.
Bye.
This podcast is part of the Planet Broadcasting Network.
Visit planetbroadcasting.com for more podcasts from our great mates.
I mean, if you want. It's up to you.